Have you ever stood at a busy intersection waiting for the light, taken a deep breath, and realized you just inhaled a full combo of burnt hot dogs and truck exhaust? Pretty suffocating, right? But trust me, there are places on this planet so spotless that if you dropped your burger on the sidewalk, you'd pick it up and keep eating without even thinking about the 5-second rule. Today, KNOWTERRA is taking you on a road trip to the top 10 cleanest countries on Earth. Buckle up, let's go.
Kicking off our top 10 is Denmark. Forget about Danishes or Legos for a second. The only plastic thing here is probably the toys, because their waste management system is straight up out of this world. The peak of this madness is Copenhagen in Copenhagen. Imagine having a massive trash incinerator, and instead of hiding it like an ugly sweater, the Danes just slapped a nearly 280-foot artificial ski slope right on the roof. Yeah, you heard that right. They're literally carving up the slopes over a pile of garbage that's being turned into green energy. Back in the States, a landfill usually just attracts a flock of hungry seagulls. Over here, it attracts tourists. Mind-blowing.
Landing at number 9 is Switzerland, the home of Rolex watches and landscapes so clean they literally look like CGI. You know what's the most mind-bending part? About 80% of the water in Swiss lakes is so pristine, you can scoop it up and drink it straight. It's like having a giant reservoir of premium Fiji or Evian water sitting right in your backyard. And it's totally free. Unlike us, who sometimes have to bite the bullet and pay $5 for a sad bottle of water at a 7-Eleven. Honestly, the bacteria in the Swiss water system must be severely depressed because they get absolutely zero screen time.
Coming in at number 8 is Austria, covering about 32,000 square miles, which is just a tad bigger than South Carolina. Nearly half of the country is blanketed in dense forests. Thanks to their hardcore emission laws, taking a deep breath in Vienna feels exactly like chewing a fresh piece of winter fresh gum. If you drove a black smoke-belching truck down their streets, the locals would literally look at you like an alien. But wait, there's more. Slap bang in the middle of Vienna sits a waste incinerator named Spitalau. But instead of being a smelly eyesore, it's brightly colored and quirky, looking straight out of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. It gobbles up the city's trash, spits out zero toxic smoke, and turns it all into heating energy for tens of thousands of homes when winter temps drop below 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Because over there, even taking out the trash has to be an art form.
Coming in at number 7 is Norway. If you thought Silicon Valley was the EV capital of the world, think again. In Norway, electric vehicles make up over 80% of new car sales. You step outside and Teslas are as common as yellow cabs in New York. Another cool thing is their pant system. When you buy a bottle of water, you pay a tiny deposit. When you're done, you feed the empty bottle into a reverse vending machine at the grocery store. It goes beep and spits your money right back out. The satisfaction is exactly like hitting the jackpot on a Las Vegas slot machine, except you always win, and so does the Earth. Thanks to their massive hydropower, even when winter temps plunge to negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit, this country stays cozy and sparkling clean. Taking the number 6 spot is Sweden. This country has an environmental policy so insane it's almost unbelievable. They are so incredibly good at turning trash into electricity that they literally ran out of trash. Yep, you heard that right. They actually have to import millions of tons of garbage from neighboring countries just to keep their power plants running. Imagine being such a neat freak that you have to run over to your neighbor's house and beg for their trash. Since 1991, they've been slapping a crazy high tax on carbon emissions, currently sitting at around $125 a ton. That's roughly the same as paying for a whole year of a Netflix premium subscription just to puff out some smoke. You seriously do not mess with the Swedes.
Claiming the number 5 spot is the United Kingdom. Plot twist, right? Forget about that smoggy, cold-choked London you see in those old Charles Dickens movies. Today, the UK is pulling off an epic glow-up. They boast massive offshore wind farms with turbines towering over 800 feet tall. That's nearly 3 times the height of our Statue of Liberty. This massive amount of clean energy is more than enough to boil millions of kettles for their immortal afternoon tea culture, all while keeping their air quality fresher than ever. And grabbing the number 4 spot is Finland, the official hometown of Santa Claus. Imagine a country where 70% of the land is dense forest. That's about 56 million acres, which is larger than the entire state of Minnesota. The trees here are basically working overtime 24/7 just to filter the air.
taking a breath in the capital, Helsinki, gives you that exact same fresh feeling as chewing a mint and then chugging a glass of ice water. Plus, the Finns have a hardcore sauna culture. We're talking over 3 million saunas for a population of just 5.5 million people. They are obsessed with being clean from the inside out, from their own bodies to their picture-perfect crystal clear lakes.
Breaking into the top 3, we have a massive plot twist called Germany. You're probably wondering, wait a minute, isn't Germany a giant industrial machine pumping out cars and heavy machinery? You bet. Covering roughly 137,000 square miles, which is just a hair smaller than our state of Montana, they are living proof that you can absolutely manufacture roaring Porsches for the Autobahn while keeping the air crystal clear. The secret lies in their iron discipline. The German recycling system is so ridiculously complex that if you accidentally toss a greasy napkin into the recycling bin, your neighbors will judge you harsher than Simon Cowell on American Idol. They pump billions of dollars into factory emission filtering tech and boast massive forests like the Black Forest, acting as giant green lungs. In Germany, industry and nature don't destroy each other. They literally dance together.
And the runner-up spot goes to Luxembourg. This wealthy little nation is sandwiched right between France, Germany, and Belgium, spanning less than 1,000 square miles. Yep, you heard that right. It's actually smaller than our smallest state, Rhode Island. But hold up. Do not sleep on this tiny powerhouse. Their insane wealth allows them to pump massive cash into world-class wastewater treatment. But the craziest thing that landed them at number 2 is this. Since 2020, Luxembourg became the first country on the planet to make its entire public transit system 100% free. Imagine hopping on the New York subway or a Chicago bus, going anywhere you want without ever swiping a Metro card or spending a single dime, forever. As a result, locals happily ditch their cars, slashing CO2 emissions and leaving the streets so ridiculously spotless, you could literally take a nap on the asphalt.
And now, the crown of cleanliness doesn't belong to a Nordic giant or any superpower. The biggest plot twist goes to Estonia. That's right, a Baltic nation covering roughly 17,000 square miles, just a tad bigger than our state of Maryland, just knocked out the rest of the world. How did they pull this off? The secret isn't hitting the streets to sweep trash every day. It lies in the power of tech. Dubbed the Silicon Valley of Europe, fun fact, it's actually the birthplace of Skype. They use satellite and digital tech to closely monitor their massive, pristine forests. But here is the real flex. 99% of Estonia's public services are online. From voting to paying taxes, it's all on the web, meaning government paper waste is practically zero. While we're drowning in thick stacks of paperwork every time IRS tax season rolls around, Estonians spend exactly 3 minutes clicking a mouse at home, in their pajamas munching on cereal. Less paperwork means millions of trees are saved and greenhouse gas emissions plummet. An absolute landslide victory for the digital age.
And there you have it, the top 10 cleanest countries in the world. Making it to this list doesn't happen overnight. It takes serious long-term planning and a real commitment to keeping things pristine. It also comes down to educating the next generation right from the classroom. If we all pitch in just a little bit, who knows? Maybe the US will crash this top 10 party in the near future. Which country's eco-hacks impressed you the most? Drop a comment down below. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to KNOWTERRA as we continue to decode this crazy planet. Peace out.